Hey,
Hey everybody, how we doing today?
hey, we're good. Good on
What's
my end.
going
What's up with
on?
y'all?
All right, I got
Chilling.
my new mug, my coffee, reach for the stars because that's what we do here on Elevate the World podcast, episode 37.
Ooh,
Yes.
ooh,
We
Boom.
elevate you
40.
so it's easier to reach the stars.
Pushing 40.
True, Scotty. That is exactly right. Pushing for do not talk about the 40s. I'm very sensitive about
No,
that
I'm
number.
on my see. I wasn't even talking about that. That means our podcast is getting some skin in the game like you got. All
That's
right, there we go.
right. It's the knowledge, the wisdom.
Mhm.
It's the wisdom.
The
Experience.
wisdom.
It's the wisdom. All
All
right,
y'all young bucks
so
out there.
I know, right? Get some wisdom going on, okay? Be like me. Okay,
Mhm.
so I did not change my name yet, but I will. Okay, so this topic today, all right, how to be successful with your fitness goals. I feel like it never gets old. I feel like it's something that we constantly need to hear. I know I need to hear it. No matter how good you think you are, you can always get better.
That part.
So, Wand Wellness, when you are done listening to this podcast, you go to Instagram and you follow her. This is her version of how to be successful with your fitness goals. I've been following her on Instagram for a while, again, using social media for good, right? To learn. She's wonderful. Wonderful. Wand Wellness, WOND Wellness. Please follow her. So when I talk about these things today, this is a post that she did. She's amazing with her words, her content, and she really breaks it down so well. And it's amazing. And it's helped me. So I hope it helps everybody else. But first, we got to start with a quote. Okay. So another James Clear quote, Atomic Habits. We love him. We love him. Okay. There are two forms of mental toughness, loud and quiet. Loud equals grit in extreme moments, pushing through great challenges. Quiet, reliability in normal moments, showing up even when it's easy to bail. Loud gets the press, quiet wins the trophies. So true. I know we say that after every quote, but it's just like, guys, you don't have to tell everyone what you're doing. You don't have to post every time you go to the gym. Just put your head down and work at your own pace, whatever works for you. Don't you guys agree?
Yes.
Totally.
Yeah, but I understand. Like sometimes people want that like attention. You know, kind of like depends like who you are. So it's like one of those things where people need people to know that they're doing it. I'm a fan of celebrating your victories, but like you definitely don't have to have it on blast.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about that real quick. I work in silence. I don't like the noise. Anybody that knows me knows when, you only really know I'm competing if you see me. Like I like to block the noise out. I put on blinders. I don't feel the need to tell everybody what I'm eating, what I'm doing. Okay. Probably on this podcast is where I talk about it the most. Okay. Because this podcast is for information, right? Prince, are you someone that has to tell everybody? Do you need and I don't mean external validation negatively, but does that help you?
It used to be like that. But then I mean, I got mixed feelings about it. It used to be like that. I would always like to let someone know what I was doing. But then I got to this new level. It was for me in protecting my peace and my plans. And to where sometimes there's some things are so delicate that I don't want any external influence on it. I don't want, even from a vibe standpoint. So like I'm like 50-50 on it. You know what I mean? Like I got my circle, I got you guys, I got my wife, I got, a couple other friends and stuff where I'm like, okay, I let them know because I know that they're gonna root for me. I know that this actually may help with accountability. Kind of like Grant Cardone said, Cardone, he was on this podcast, and he was talking about how like he sets a quota for himself and he tells people about it because he's a good man and he's going to follow through, especially when people are depending on him to do it. even if it's not for them.
Okay. All right, Scotty, how about you? Do you work in silence, or do you find that external motivation or validation helps you?
That's also like a tough one. I would say I'm a little bit of both, because like I definitely have the people who I know that that do the same things as me. Like me and Paul sometimes do the same workouts, or like Ronnie, like sometimes like, all right, like, hey, like I got this, and I'm not trying to do it to gloat. I'm doing it like, hey, like I want you to try to hit this. You know what I mean? So like sometimes like, hey, like, or if I go golfing, like I don't like announce on Instagram like what my score was, but like I'll be like, yo, I just shot like an 85 or like an 88 this week. Like, and like I know they're better than me, but like they're like, oh, good job, like hell yeah, like you're getting there. So like I like that kind of like where I can
Yeah.
like talk to like specific people and let certain people know. I put my workouts like on social media and like on like for content and stuff like that, but like that's just, I don't know. I enjoy like kind of like making and being creative with stuff like that, because it's what I do. Like
Yeah.
there's nothing else that like I would really like put on there besides like Megan and the dogs and like stuff like that. So that's just like, I guess some people would say like, oh well, you're just like throwing yourself all over like a thing and just like making us all like ashamed. Like, am I making you ashamed, or are you just
No,
like
no,
like,
I
you know
don't
what I
get that
mean? Like,
vibe.
Yeah.
You
No,
do
nah,
such a
dude.
good, you do such a great job, because I believe your posts about when you're working out is to help people, number one, level up, but also build confidence that they can do it too. That's what I get from
Yeah.
your posts.
Yeah, hustle and
I
motivate,
get,
man.
yes, I get hustle and motivate. I don't get that you're being showy. I don't get that you're trying to make people look bad at all. You two are probably two of the few that actually do it right. You know, there are some competitors that I follow that do it right because they put it out for information, but I don't get that at all. Not one bit.
Yeah.
You
Nah,
just,
bro.
you guys, yeah, you scream, I'm going to motivate you and give you the confidence that you can do it. Like
mhm.
good lead, you know, we always say good leaders help people realize the things they can do. Okay. So that's what I feel like you're doing. I feel like you're leading.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely.
And you're just letting you just at the end of the day, you're just letting your light shine. You don't gotta dim it.
That's right.
Like that part.
I like that.
Reach
that.
for the
Like sometimes
stars.
like I'll brag to Megan, stuff like that. Like, hey babe, like you did this. She's like, oh yeah, proud of you. Like she doesn't
I
give a
knew he
shit
was
at
gonna
all. She's like, oh,
say
like,
hey
good
babe
job.
before he said it.
That's
Hey
funny.
babe.
That's just you. That's just you being like, look at me, girl. Look at
Mhm.
me.
Yeah,
Look at daddy.
exactly.
Look at daddy.
And then like there's sometimes where like I try to. Jesus.
Stop, Scotty. I can't wait until you have a child, because we're just gonna daddy this up. It's gonna be hilarious.
I bet his
It's
beard's
gonna be
gonna grow
great.
like his beard's gonna double in size on that day.
It's just gonna turn
God,
gray
stop.
right away.
Oh God. All right, let's jump into the podcast. Let's jump in how to be successful with your fitness goals. Again, guys, this is at Wand Wellness, WOND Wellness. Follow her. This is a simple list that she put together, and she does such a good job. So, number one, be consistent. If you get nothing out of this podcast today, get that one, okay? She talks about how we are not chasing perfection. And we've talked about this before. We're chasing progress. Master the skill of consistency. It will be your savior. And that is something for me. Being in the improvement season is a whole new territory for me, being in it this long. Okay. So I'm still reminding myself, show up, girl. Show up to CrossFit. God help me. Yes, I will do a podcast on bodybuilding versus CrossFit, because I can't stop laughing today. Y'all are dangerous. CrossFit's dangerous. Imagine
Yeah.
laughing so hard.
For
So
the
anyway,
elite.
I'm still showing up. I'm still being consistent. I don't look at the workout until that morning, because I'm going to show up day by day. All right. So Scotty, talk about that a little bit. Being consistent.
Oh, so like honestly, that's where I've gotten all my results from, is just being consistent, whether it's from my eating habits, my working out, just successful like with relationship, like being consistent. Like when you're all over the place and you just don't know, and you're just like, you're like I said, like you're inconsistent, like you're not gonna gain any momentum. You're gonna kind of just hang around in the middle. Like if you're doing some good and then you fall off, like you're stalemated. But like we talked about, like when you're stalemating, you're dying. You're going the opposite way. You're not growing. So it just helps you overall in life. Like it just makes things more simple, because now when you're doing stuff so consistent, like you have a plan, like you have a whole, wow, I'm really trying to find words. I can't tell if you guys can tell. I'm really trying to find words right now.
Doing good.
Yeah, man.
You're just, I know there's a word I'm looking for right now. I just can't figure it out. Basically just having like a setup for like your whole day. Like now you know where things are, you're consistent, you're putting things away. Like Megan's like big thing that we lack sometimes is don't put it down, put it away.
Ooh, go mama. I like that.
How often do we just like put something down and like, oh crap, like where are the keys, or like where's that at, like where's my chapstick, like stuff like that. So it's like, don't put it down, put it away. Don't let the sink fill up, like put the dishes away. When you're done using your weights, put them away. Like it should just be like automatic. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like drink your water, make sure you're getting your protein. Like when you're doing those things so consistently, it's literally just making yourself 1% better every day.
And my favorite analogy of that is the piñata. The piñata. It's not the kid that hits it the last time that all the candy falls out. It's the accumulation of all the hits to the piñata, right?
Exactly.
That's a great example. Over and over again.
Yeah, everything is a deposit.
Everything is a deposit. All right, Prince, we're going to talk about the next one. Don't play the comparison game. Don't get caught up. And we talk about social media all the time, what other people are doing, what works for them. So talk a little bit about that, Prince. Like, don't play the comparison game, because I've been guilty of it before.
Me too.
Okay.
I mean, dude, comparison just kills. Like, you know, it's honestly like when you compare or you try to be someone else, two things happen. They're not there and neither are you, because you can't be them. You know what I mean? You can't be them, and now you're not being yourself. So now you're doing yourself and everyone else a disservice, because it's not gonna get you. And I feel like with comparison, it's just like you don't, like we talked about that before. You don't know all that someone does to be where they're at, and it could be good, it could be bad. You know what I mean? You really don't know. My wife like taught me that very early in our marriage. Like when like I'd see people with certain things that I wanted, and she was like, okay, look, she was like, go get yours. And while you're doing that, don't always think about wanting what someone else has, wanted because you want it. But she was like, but you don't know what that person did to get that. You know what I mean? So that whether how hard they worked or what they had to finesse, you know, you just don't know the details behind that. And I think you need to spend more time focusing on you and just comparing yourself to you. That's the best you're gonna get, as far as just looking at you and being like, how can I be better than me? You'll win every time. And if you fail, you already know the strategies and what to do, because it's you. It's you. You know what I mean? You can learn from you. And I think like that's the biggest thing. Put the freaking blinders on. Let all that other stuff go, because you can't control it anyway. There's no need to compare. All you need to do is just look at you. Look at you, focus on you. I've found just through my experience, when I stopped looking at everyone else and I focused on me, having a lot more success, and I feel a lot better. And I'm thinking that's even contributing to having more success. All right.
Right. So good. And, you know, even in a sport for bodybuilding where we are literally being compared to each other, okay, you can't go in the sport like that. You've got to look at your pictures from last season, compare them till now. Like you really, and my coach, Tina, does such a good job of always saying, like, it's you versus you. You never know who's going to show up. You never know how that, you know, it's literally, you just have to focus on getting better. And when you do that, you will win every time. You will win every time. So true. All right, Scotty, let's talk about the next one. Don't panic. Gosh, we're all going to be like, oh my gosh, don't panic or get upset when the scale fluctuates.
Ooh.
Guys, being in improvement season, I'm not weighing myself every day. I'm weighing myself a little. I'm going more about how I feel, my energy, my lifts, just how I feel. The scale gets in people's heads. It is not the end all be all. It is one small form of measurement. And Wand
Please.
Wellness, she has posted, I guess it was a couple of weeks ago, chase strong. Chase strong. Don't chase the scale, chase strong. And I was just like, whoa, that's so good, because it really puts in perspective. Now, Scotty, talk about this, because you're in the F45 challenge where people are doing their in bodies and they're weighing themselves. How are you talking to them about this? Because let's just be real. Most people want to see the scale change.
Oh yeah, everyone's like, oh, I want to drop 15 pounds. Oh, I want to drop 20 pounds, and yada. I'm like, that's great, but like, yeah, maybe you want to drop 15, 20 pounds in body fat, but like when you just step on a scale, the scale is not going to tell you. It might just be the same. It might go up. It might go down. But like, there's so many different factors, especially when you're changing your eating habits. You're adding more protein to your diet. You're increasing your carbs. You're eating more calories than you were before, but that could be a benefit for you. You're getting more energy, which is allowing you to work harder, which can allow you to lose more body fat. And then when you're increasing your muscle mass, that's allowing you to burn more calories as well. So basically, like, don't look at the overall scale. And then, because you will be increasing muscle mass and you occasionally can be losing body fat, depending on where you are. For people that are kind of more towards like us, and like that we've been in the game for a while, got a lot of skin in the game, as Prince would say.
In the
it's
nice
way.
It's
going to be a lot harder. It's going to be, we actually have to eat more calories, and we have to be in a surplus to put on muscle. It's hard to put on muscle when you're already in this shape. And to lose weight, like, you're going to end up losing muscle mass. That's going to happen for us. But like, if you're still early in your fitness journey, you're getting in the swing of things and you're just changing all your eating habits, you will see it kind of fluctuate, and you'll increase muscle and you'll decrease body fat. So don't look at your overall scale until we get back on the in body, and then you can see where the changes are. Because everyone's like, oh, I went up like 4 pounds. I'm like, yeah. And then you look at it, you went up like maybe 6 pounds of muscle, and you ended up losing like 10 pounds of body fat. Like, and then that scale is like basically just leveling out.
Yes.
So it's like, you have to be mindful of that. Like, you don't want to just lose weight. I was talking to the guy today, and he said when he was on like all these like cleanses and like all this stuff, and he was like on a green cleanse for like 2 weeks, he lost like 35 pounds, and he lost a lot of fat, but he also lost a lot of muscle. Like, you lost a lot of muscle during that. So he's like, now, like,
that
like, now,
yeah,
he's like, now that makes sense. Like, now I understand, like, I want to keep the muscle, so I'm going to increase my calories. I'm going to make sure I'm eating my protein. So I'm going to do it the right way rather than doing like those quick fixes, because that's how you end up losing your muscle, which, and then in the long run, like, now your workouts are going to be 10 times harder, and you're not going to be able to burn as many calories because you don't have as much muscle mass.
Yes, which brings me to the next one. Be willing to play the long game. Be patient. Understand that gaining muscle takes time. Losing body fat takes time. And it's probably going to take longer than you think, right? Because most things do. So don't set yourself up for disappointment. If you're playing the long game, you're not playing the Biggest Loser game, okay? And I feel like in reality, when that show came out, The Biggest Loser came out, which, by the way, I'm a huge fan of Jillian and Bob. They still have my heart. I love them. America, or wherever that show was playing, got this idea that we're going to lose 15 pounds in a week and it's going to be okay. So the long game, it will take longer than you think. So,
but also,
have
The Biggest
patience.
Loser, those people are a little bit more on the obese side, and like, those changes are going to happen. Like, you can make the slightest change to your diet, and you're going to see that weight shed off like very quickly.
You could just be moving more. You can start from you come from the couch.
Because exactly, they're still working out, they're still watching what they eat. You know what I mean? But like, yeah, they're going to be losing a lot more total weight. They might not be getting as much muscle, but like, because they're going to be doing more cardio typically like on that show. But remember, like, as long as like it's not exact like one for one, but like it took you a while to gain that weight. That weight just didn't happen overnight either. And like to lose that muscle, like it takes a while for you to lose that muscle. Well, muscle you lose a little bit quicker, but like you know what I mean? But like, well, because it's easy to be lazy and not do that.
Right.
But like just as long as it takes to build on muscle, like it's going to take maybe a little bit less time to lose it, but like just as much as it takes to gain the weight, it's going to take that much time to lose the weight the right way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a huge fan of 6 month to a year goal, like, but with little breakdowns in between. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So if you're really trying to change your body, and my coach talks about this all the time, she's like, nobody wants to take off. Nobody wants to take a big, long improvement season. Everybody wants the fun, the excitement of in prep going on stage. No one ever wants to change and work on themselves. And they wonder why their placings never change, because they don't want to take the time and play the long game. Guys, because the long game is hard. It is hard. You know, there's no excitement. There's no flashy suits. There's no, weekly progress pictures where you see changes all the time. Like, you might see a change, a very small one, but don't rely on that to keep you going. You've got to just be committed, which leads me to the next one. Rely on discipline, not motivation. And we have talked about this before, where motivation is a mood. So Prince, talk about this, because motivation is a feeling.
Oh man, and you can't, if you only do things when you feel like it, chances are you won't get very much done.
That's true.
And I think that the biggest thing with all of that motivation and discipline is, so it's the value you place on something. Like, I feel like, okay, if we take a, I don't know, just scenario of like, okay, you get up and go to work. Maybe it's not even because you like your job, but you are disciplined enough to get up and go to work because you got to go, you got bills, you got to take care of your family. There's other things you want that make that job, that bring the value to you having that job. So I think it's the same thing when it comes to fitness goals and whatever it is you're trying to achieve. You got to make sure, you got to truly assess the value that it has to you, because I think that's when you can stay disciplined when motivation dies out. You know what I mean? That is where it is. I think that's the biggest thing. Like, there's some things where you feel like Kobe was saying that, and it touched my heart. He was talking about how with his kids, he was like, yeah, man, like, when I get home, I'm tired and stuff like that. But like, he's like, my daughter wants to go play. She wants to swim. She wants to do that. And he was like, man, I can't say no, because if it was a game, I would still give it my all. You know what I mean? So it could, because that means something to me. And he's like, so my kids mean something to me. So I'm gonna do the same thing for them, even if I am tired, even if I don't feel like it. It's the value behind it. You know what I mean? So I think, just like with plan is for the long run, you got to truly assess the value behind it and stick to that. Stick to that. Don't negotiate with yourself. You know what I mean? Like, you said you were doing that, and you gotta be your own client sometimes. You know what I mean? And your own coach. So don't negotiate with yourself. And just piggybacking off of what you said about being in it for the long haul. In the long haul, I think you need to find out the things about this journey that's going to help you embrace it. That way, it's going to help you enjoy the ride. All right, every step of the way, no matter where you're at as far as achieving the goal.
Right. All right. So the next one leads, or I can piggyback off of that, which we're not going to spend too much time on this one, because we've been preaching this since I think we started this podcast, and we actually did a podcast on it. Have a solid routine and plan ahead. I mean, it's so cliche to say,
routine. That was the word I was looking for. I couldn't think of routine. I don't know why.
It's
You
so
got that Friday brain.
Friday brain. So we always say, fail to plan, plan to fail. It really is the truth. You've got to have a solid routine. You got to go to the grocery store. You got to make it a priority. You got to food prep. You got to, have the right things available. You got to plan your exercise. You got to set aside time. You have to do these things. It will make you successful. So plan ahead and have a solid routine. Now, the next one, this is the one that gets me fired up, because we all know, we all have been with people that do this.
Love Ant when she's fired up.
Don't fail when things get uncomfortable. True change happens outside your comfort zone. Show up for yourself even when it gets hard. And it kills me when people are like, oh, it's easy for you. It's easy for
No.
them. Why do you think it's easy for them? It is not. They are just showing up for themselves. So don't even do that.
Everybody want to be a champion until it's time to do some champion stuff. All right.
I
Straight
love
up.
that. I love that quote. Yes.
Straight up, like with all of that, like seriously, like if people, there would be no greats. Nothing would be achieved if everybody stopped the second they passed the limit of what was easy. None of that. Just that, like, we would the world would not be in a very far place right now, and that goes for the good. That goes for the good and the bad. Anybody with a real agenda, whatever it may be, like most of the time it's not easy, but they push through it. And I think the biggest thing to not quit when it gets hard is to already see the end.
Yes.
Already see the end, but then also think about, even if I can't see the end, I know what I see behind me if I stop. You know, like that's a quick answer. You don't even need to ask that question. You already know the answer if you quit and you be a weenie about it. And I don't mean that in any disrespect. I say that to motivate you, because nobody wants to be called a weenie. Nobody wants to be called a weenie. All right. So,
right.
I'd be pissed if you called me a weenie.
Yes.
Like, disrespected.
We want to have that category.
All right. So the next one also paid this one gets me fired up too, because I've been calling people out on this a little bit more, and probably in the past like 4 years of my career as a fitness professional, because this next one rides a fine line, and it's call yourself out on your own BS.
Because you're only fooling yourself if you don't.
So I know all three of us have come in contact with someone who is going to give us the same excuse or some excuse over and over and over again. And we probably all have the same look on our face when they tell us. Ready? Everyone do your look. Ready? Here it is. Okay. So if you see that look and you're telling us an excuse, you can imagine what's going on in our head. Okay.
Man.
Excuses are useless. You're the only one who is actually going to believe it. You're the only one. Because going back to what Prince said, like, you can do hard things, people. You do not need to make excuses. Excuses are not going to get you where you want to go. And you can try to BS yourself up and down. You can't BS us, because we know that you can do it. And again, we know what's up. So call yourself out on your BS. Yes, you have time. Yes, you can go to the store. Yes, you can eat healthy. Yes, you can go to bed early and get sleep. Yes, you can give your phone a rest. Yes, you can read a book. Yes, you can go on a walk. Like, start saying all the yeses to things, and stop saying all the I can'ts to things. Right? So
it goes back to value.
Raise your standards of yourself, people. That's what it all comes down to. Also, value and raising the standards of yourself for yourself. Expect more from yourself. You expect more from your colleagues or your coworkers. Raise the bar on you. It's okay. You'll be okay. You actually will be better than okay.
You'll be great.
You'll be great.
You're gonna be all right.
You're gonna be right.
You're gonna reach for the stars.
You're gonna do that. You might reach a star. You just might.
You might reach a star. All right. And the last one, and we talked, I think we had a podcast on this also, is practice gratitude. You both talked about celebrating small successes. So Scotty, tell us how you practice gratitude. So focus on the good, celebrate the small wins, appreciate what you have accomplished. How do you do that for you?
Basically, I feel like everyone does it in a different way. For me, it's sometimes like I don't practice it. I'll be honest, I don't practice enough gratitude. Because sometimes I'll just be like at home and like, oh, I gotta get this one, this one, this one, and I'm like, all right, cool, I finished. And Megan's like, oh, you crushed it, like you got all those things done. I'm like, yeah, but like I still got like, and then I'm like, I still got like all this stuff done. So I'm just like, I'm constantly just like thinking about like what else I have to do sometimes. And I honestly like forget sometimes like to reflect on like what I have accomplished. I do need to work on being more gratitude and being like, all right, cool. Like I'm setting myself up for success. I'm doing what I need to do. But then I catch myself like constantly like chasing, you know what I mean? And work and moving. Like I'm trying to move forward as much as I can, which is a good thing, but like I don't really take the time. And I think maybe like that kind of stresses me out because I don't like ever, I'm not like, oh, good job, Scott. Like I don't think about that sometimes.
So you need to do more of that.
Yeah. So honestly, like when you sent me that post, like I definitely thought about that more. And I would like to hear some ways that you guys actually show yourself gratitude and how I can maybe practice it.
So you know what I do? I and people laugh, especially the people that live with me, because I will come inside and I will straight up say, I am proud of myself. That's exactly what I do. I say, I am proud of myself. Do you guys know what I just did? Do you want to hear all about it? I am proud of myself. I would say I showed up to that CrossFit gym 3 days this week and did all my bodybuilding workouts. I am proud of myself because it was not easy. And I actually will say I'm proud of myself. And I have a good friend of mine who I talk to daily. And I will say to her, I'm proud of myself. I actually did that. I actually did that exercise and that workout, and I am daggone proud. So I just say it. That's how I do it. I just say it. I was like, I am proud of myself.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I talk to myself a lot. I'm like, good job, D. Good job, man. You know what I mean? And like a lot of times, like, cause I like to keep myself from going backwards, I'll really have to sit and tally up. Okay, man, where were you at last year and where you at right now? What's changed positively, man? What have you accomplished? Like, look how further along you are in this area of your life than you were before. Yeah, you still want to win over here, but check out these wins. And this book called Psycho Cybernetics, it talks about how like thinking about previous wins can help influence future wins. And it's no different than like the whole concept of like gratitude being a magnet for more things to be grateful for. You know what I mean? So it's all like infectious. You know what I mean? Like that, you know, and you know, you kind of gotta say it because you know, you just gotta, that doesn't mean like, you know, don't keep moving forward or get complacent. You know what I mean? Like where you're like, I won already. It's like, no, keep going, man, win again. You know what I mean? Like, you know, there's a balance, but yeah.
There's a reason why we say win the day, because we mean today, and tomorrow we will say win the day, and we mean that day. You can't win all the days in one day.
No.
It's already won the week already. I'm good.
There was a restaurant in Venice that was called Cafe Gratitude, and I only went there legit. Hey, blah blah blah. Like,
freezing.
Oh,
you're freezing on us, Scotty. Do you have check the apps on your phone, people. If you're Zoom, do you have all these apps open?
Man, I literally had to flick through like 50 screens. I was like, oh man, it's really hard. I'm backed up.
It's probably just the Wi-Fi in here. But the waiter would just legit ask you like what are you grateful for today?
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, dang, that's what's
so you start off like your breakfast or your lunch that way every time.
You gonna be grateful up in here.
Oh, that's so cool. Another thing like I used to do with Reese when she was little, it was like, what was your rose of the day? So what was your rose? And what was your thorn? So you would talk about what your rose was and what your thorn was, because it's okay to talk about that. You know, it's okay to talk about what great happened, the rose, but you know what, maybe this thorn happened. So just to try and kind of change the perspective. So I would ask Reese that in the morning or at nighttime when we would have dinner when she was little, what was your rose of the day? What was your thorn? And I still ask her, you know, tell me something good that happened today. And she's like, oh, mom. I'm like, tell me something good that happened today.
Gotta be something. It's gotta be something.
When I was like beginning to do like my power list and stuff like that, and trying to add in what are you grateful for, that kind of mess, like I don't know, like I always like was like, oh, like I'm grateful for like having a roof over my head, or I'm grateful for like a loving wife, and I just feel like those are like the basic ones, you know what I mean, like having like, and they're not basic because like maybe some people don't have a roof, like, you know what I mean, like, so I am grateful for that, but I feel like sometimes I maybe I'm not grateful as much as I think I am for those things, you know, now that I say it out loud. But I say when I feel like when I write it down, I feel like, oh, it's like whatever. But like when I say it out loud, like I like now I'm like, all right, I sound like an asshole.
Say
Well,
your gratitude out loud then, you know, because I exactly understand what you're saying. Writing it down seems cliche, like, oh, I'm happy with my house, my family. Of course I am. I have those things.
Yeah.
But you're right, saying out loud puts a totally different spin on gratitude.
Yeah, now that I
man,
just
that
said
makes
it, I'm
me,
like, well,
yeah.
there's people that are homeless, there's people that don't have like a companion
There are people,
or don't have
dude,
anyone.
right.
So now I'm just like, wow, like I'm an asshole for like not being grateful for these things.
Man, you know what? That makes me think about like every morning, like as a Christian, how you're supposed to pray is that like before you ask God for anything, you already thank him for what you feel like he's already done. And just from doing that, like I start thinking about like I'm like, shoot, man, thank you for my wife, my kids, like thank you for this, thank you for that. Like you automatically start off like you can't ignore some things that you have, the things that you have in your life. And dude, when the minute you said like I'm thankful that I got a loving wife, bro, man, as a man who has experienced it, like I tell everyone, I'm very transparent about it. Me and my wife went through a separation for like 9 months, bro. Like, man, that's something to definitely be grateful for sure, for sure. Like, which you already know that, you know what I mean? Like, but just throwing it out there, man. Like, it's some, shoot, man, I'm
Mm-hmm.
grateful every day.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So keep working on being grateful, because even though what you're grateful for might not 100% align with like, I need to lose weight, I want to, get stronger, you're still putting it out there. It's still helping your overall mind, body, and soul, which we know when those are in a line equals good health,
Yep.
right? I was talking to somebody about this today. It's all about working on the host, your body, your health, and all of these things are connected. We can't just single out strength. We just can't single out cardiovascular. We just can't single out
Yeah.
positivity. We can't single out gratitude. They all work together. And that is when we feel truly, as a whole, overall healthy.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
100%.
a car with all of its working parts, and each part may require a different service to keep it working and healthy.
That's good.
So,
Analogy like that. I like that.
yes. Thank you.
Really
Okay, well, that was Wand Wellness. Please follow her. She's amazing. Wand, WOND Wellness. Instagram. I don't know about any other platforms because that's all that I really get on is Instagram. But follow her. You will be glad you did. Okay. Now, before we go into our song, I want to talk about one more thing. Ben Newman, Continued Fight on Instagram. I post a lot of his stuff. He is the Champions Are Created on Fridays. So today is Friday. So I want to speak on that because you two have helped me elevate my Fridays, because in my just human nature, Friday, like relax, don't push as hard, don't get as much work done, coast into the weekend, when really Friday, you're missing a whole day of progress. If you come into the mindset of it's Friday, I'm not going to track my macros. It's Friday, I'm not going to work out. It's Friday, I'm not really going to, pay attention to what I eat. I'm going to eat whatever I want. Think about that. Friday is a day of the week that you're missing out on some progress. Think about if you tightened up every Friday for 1 year, the progress that you can make, whether it would be with your nutrition, your workouts, your business.
Rick Ross said that. he was talking about he like had this story up, and he was talking about it's Friday. I tried to make my voice like Rick Ross for a second, but I'm not gonna do that. Like, he was like,
No, do it. Wait.
he's like, it's Friday,
Do
everybody. I wonder. He's like, I want y'all to make this the hardest day of the week. Like, but he was like, I want you to go your hardest today. He was like, I want you to put in some extra hours. Put in some extra hours. Like he was like, it's like I want you to put in some extra hours. Like he was like, and he was like, and he was like, I bet you do that. Not only are you gonna be more successful, you're gonna start motivating the people on your team, the people in the office with you, all that. And there's another story I heard, and they was talking about instead of using the weekends to run away from the life that you have, if you don't like your life, why don't you use the weekends to actually create and push yourself and create the life you want, push yourself closer to the life you want, so you don't got to run from it every weekend.
We're gonna end on that because that is so valuable. Yes.
Love it.
Yes. All right, we're jumping into the song. I'm gonna go first. Okay.
Go for it.
You guys know I started my CrossFit journey. Insane in the Brain by Cypress Hill. That is my song of the week. Sometimes.
That song makes me want to slam stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I was just telling Angelo this. I never want to hear anyone say to me again, you bodybuilders are crazy. You bodybuilders, you're crazy. No, I'm not. Talk to a CrossFit athlete. Okay. That's what I'm saying.
Nah,
because
they
I'm
go
going
hard.
in
Yeah.
there like, are these people real?
Nah, they serious. They are serious.
Yeah.
Serious.
Oh my gosh. That's
Right.
my song of the week. 2
Hey.
weeks into my CrossFit journey, but at least I showed up.
No, you've been doing it.
Mhm.
You've been doing it. Definitely, it's definitely a new milestone for you.
Big time. Big time. And we're just gonna leave it there. We'll dive into that a little bit more, but I walked out of there today like, first off, the coaches are just angels sent from above. Thank you. Like
Hey.
literally, like thank you for these people who took the time to learn these technical movements to help people like me who have no clue. So I want to give CrossFit coaches a major shout out on this podcast. All right, Scotty, what song do you have?
It's a cover of Tainted Love, and it's by Harrison.
Ooh,
it's
Tainted Love cover. Love it.
Like some deep house. It's dope.
Nice.
Hey.
And who is it by?
All about that deep house. Harrison.
Deep.
I'm writing that down.
Deep.
Yes. All right, Prince, what do you got?
Man,
I got some Rage Against the Machine. Mic check.
Mic check. That's a great one.
Yeah. Mic check. Rage Against the Machine.
Yes.
It's how I walk up in the gym with that playing. Like I feel like I got a invisible audience. The spirits rooting me on. Like go get them. Go get that.
Oh, I'm gonna. You know what? I don't think I had that on my playlist. I am adding it on.
Man, Rage Against the Machine. Mic check.
Speaking of mic check, same song, Mic Check by GTA.
Mic check.
That
GTA.
song will get you hype.
Okay, I'm adding all this on as soon as we get off because I'm growing my workout playlist even more now.
Let me know how you like the GTA one. It's just
I'm gonna run that.
Nice.
It's
right,
pretty intense. So I hope you're ready.
Very good. All right. Well, that wraps up episode 37. Ange Fit, Scotty the Body, Train Like Prince. Look for coming up. We're going to talk a little bit sleep. I may do a little bodybuilding versus CrossFit podcast. Stay tuned for that. We might get some guests on there. And we also are going to talk about anxiety. Scotty, you have a guest to possibly get on that coming next month. Look for some new things coming in the fall and September as we're turning the corner, as my summer comes to an end and fall is upon us.
See, that's why LA was great because we're losing them, bro. Summer.
We're losing the shorts.
It was always Hoochie Daddy season, man. Like, and I feel like
sweatpants just go over it. Sweatpants go on top. And you take them off at the gym.
True. That's right. I like to be hoochie daddy all outside though,
All day.
man.
I'm hoochie.
Yeah,
I'm hoochie daddy year round.
like
I'm a yearly hoochie daddy. Annual hoochie daddy.
Do not
Hoochie
worry,
daddy
everybody.
Hoochie daddy of the year.
You will still
Hoochie
see
daddy
the
of the
short
year.
shorts on the Instagram.
Hoochie daddy of the year.
Right. All right. Well, school starts next week for my child. It's been a wonderful summer. But we're entering a new season, so stay tuned for more from us.
Yes, sir.
All
Love it.
right. All
All right,
right.
players.
See
Peace.
ya.